Water. How secure are we really? Water is the only resource on this planet which has the transformational power from the most basic one to power human lives to the most complex which powers and runs global economies. Come to think of it, without water, both human lives and global economies will come to a grinding halt. So in a nutshell, water matters. But still, since water is ubiquitous, meaning it is almost found everywhere, in some parts of the world, this precious resource is taken for granted. As the world population continues to grow from the present of 7.8 billion to 10 billion by the year 2050, the rapid rate of urbanization, degradation of the overall environment, deforestation, climate change, to name a few, pose a challenge to the water security around the world. Climate change and historic droughts continue to threaten our supply of water, and the failing and aging infrastructure and the gap in investments being made deprive the already vulnerable communities the basic necessity for sustaining human life: access to clean water. Now, lack of clean water amounts to lack of proper sanitation and hygiene. Lack of sanitation threatens public health, dignity and equity, and protection of the freshwater resources. So water security is central and essential to address, since it is also central not just to the security of human beings, but it is also central to national security. UN Water has defined water security as the capacity of a population to safeguard sustainable access to adequate quantities of and acceptable quality water for sustaining livelihoods, human well-being, and socio-economic development, for ensuring protection against waterborne pollution and water-related diseases, and for preserving ecosystems in a climate of peace and political stability. Now that is a mouthful for a definition. But if you unpack it further, it gets very interesting. Water insecurity remains one of the world's greatest challenges. 1 in 4 people continue to lack safely managed drinking water in their homes, and nearly half of the world's population lacks safely managed sanitation. Without major improvements in water resources management, 2/3 of people globally are expected to face water shortages by the year 2050 due to growing demand, climate change, pollution, and just in general, the degradation of our watershed. Reliable, sustainable access to safe water and sanitation are the initial and crucial building blocks for a healthy, productive population, thriving businesses and markets, and strong and equitable economies. Water security bolsters resiliency in the face of climate change and other shocks and stresses, while affordable, reliable water and sanitation services extended equitably can enhance the stability of societies by reducing conflict and building legitimacy and trust in democratic institutions around the world. Without water security, there can be no national security. In fact, water is essential to the stability of every country on this planet. Understanding water security means looking beyond immediate supply to political and economic, social and environmental impacts as well. Water was central as far as the global pandemic is concerned. It was the most basic necessity which everyone engaged in to wash our hands for safety and hygiene. The pandemic has also demonstrated how supply chains were affected through the use of resources and industries and manufacturing. Well, every industry requires water, and therefore the economic and national security and prosperity of the citizens and nations is going to be dependent on water. There can be no second doubts or debates around this topic. As citizens of this planet, the water security of one nation will impact the stability of other nations. It is one water and it's one world.